Hello, welcome to the session. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for inviting. It's just a usual day. What about you?
Same here. I am happy, excited for this session today. Yes.
Yes.
So it's our first meeting. I know, I
Hmm.
think I like your audience are my and my audience are similar, maybe quite similar,
Yes,
but
yes,
still,
they
I
are.
want you to give your short introduction.
Sure. My name is Roshan and I am from Bihar. I recently graduated with English honors and currently I'm working in a school as an English teacher. And
Okay.
I have also started a YouTube channel where I talk about books, movies, and
Mhm.
talk to people like you and upload them on the internet.
Okay. You are from Bihar. So happy Chhat
Yes.
Puja first. Maybe
Thank
you are
you. Thank you.
celebrating
Happy
that.
Chhat Puja.
Uh,
No, I don't celebrate Chhat Puja, but my
mhm.
friends are celebrating.
Okay.
So,
Why are you not celebrating Chhat Puja? It's very surprising for me because I have a lot of friends from Jharkhand, Bihar.
hmm,
I
yes.
was there for a few years. So I have a lot of friends and they are always super excited. They can miss any other festival but not Chhat
But
Puja
not
at all.
Chhat Puja. Yes,
Yeah.
Chhat is quite popular here, but in my religion it is not celebrated. Like I belong
Ah.
to Muslim community, so it is not celebrated here.
Oh, okay,
But my
okay,
other
okay.
friends,
Got
like they
it.
do
But
celebrate.
maybe your other
Hmm.
friends will invite you definitely. And then you can
I
join
hope
them.
so. So far, yet they haven't invited yet me.
Oh my God.
But
Because, mm-hmm.
I guess in the evening they will call me. But I think we already hung out yesterday, so I guess they're not going to invite today.
But no matter what community you belong to, but when you are from a particular state and when there is a big festival,
Hmm.
we all enjoy that, right?
Yes, we all do. But I'm kind of
Mm.
person who likes to stay home. Like if somebody's not calling me, I don't like to go out. Otherwise, I'm just
Okay,
kind of.
got
I do
it.
like to hang out, but not always. Like it's not that I go and celebrate every festival. Not even mine.
Okay, okay. Maybe a little different personality you are. Okay. So you are doing your master's in English?
No, I haven't even received my graduation degree. Like I'm waiting for my
You are doing
results.
graduation in.
Like final
Okay.
year, I have given the exam and waiting for my results.
Okay, okay. And you are teaching currently in a school.
Yes,
Is it private?
yes, it's a private school.
Okay, so are you teaching the subject or the spoken English?
In a school, you have to teach everything, whether it is literature, grammar, and spoken English too, right? It's
Hmm.
not that they have a separate period for spoken English. Especially
Hmm.
where I come from, there is not much focus on communication. It's just that it is seen as a subject, right?
Hmm.
So, but with people like us, like who are able to speak a few lines, we try to add that factor too, that English is not a subject, and we have to see it as a language.
So, whatever the chapter you teach or whatever the thing you explain to your students, do you just
Hmm.
explain, describe everything only in English?
No, because I belong to a rustic area, so they are not able to understand everything English to English. So I have
Mm-hmm.
to use two languages, bilingual. My classes are bilingual. I take Hindi as a medium to comprehend and help them
Mm-hmm.
to comprehend the language. But I
Mm-hmm.
emphasize the fact that they have to continue doing it in English. But of course, they are not that like I teach from class 6 to 10. So their base level is, or you can say, they are not able to comprehend it English to English, right?
Mm.
So I have to take help of Hindi.
Okay, okay. So whenever you explain or whenever you use a little bit English while talking to them, do they feel
Hmm.
intimidated or do they feel motivated? Like,
Uh,
okay, we should also speak like him or we should also
hmm,
have
hmm.
this skill.
Uh, you know, in the beginning, they thought or they think everywhere, if you are speaking a few lines in English,
Mm-hmm.
they feel intimidated in the
Hmm.
beginning. But once they get used to the way you are teaching, they are comfortable with that. And
Mm.
they don't assume that the teacher or anybody is trying to show off there, because what happens in countryside area, whenever a new teacher or somebody is there, they try to speak as much as English possible, just to have a kind of, especially in private schools. So they just
Mm-hmm.
want to have a kind of you could say command over the class, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you have to make them understand whatever you are teaching, whether it's grammar or they're part of literature. So
Mm-hmm.
the end goal is to make them understand. So I use
Absolutely.
both. I push them to, to participate as much as they can speak. It's not that I'm
Mm.
just giving orders to this, to that.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to introduce myself, I guess. Do I need to first tell me?
No, I know about you. I have seen a few of your videos, and I think you are quite popular here to introduce yourself.
Like that, not popular. Uh, okay, thank you so
Still, if
much
you want,
for.
you can.
No, if you know, then we don't need to because yes, many people, my audience already know me very well. Maybe
Yes,
it's
yes.
it's like I don't know how it feels to give introduction in every video.
Every
Sometimes maybe
video,
people
and it
feel
feels repetitive. Hmm.
yeah. Okay, then we can move to the questions and the further discussions. So first, tell me, do
Sure,
if you
sure.
have any question that you want to discuss, any particular topic in your mind.
Like I'm ready for anything. Like let's have a candid conversation and let's see where it goes. Like we haven't planned
Sure.
anything, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
sure.
I wrote to you a couple of months ago when I was giving my final year exam. I was in Hajipur that time. Like I am from
Oh my
Siwan.
God.
So I
Hmm.
was in Hajipur and like we had a meeting and I completely forgot that I will be at the station. I won't be home. So you texted me, Roshan, we are going to have session this time. And I said no. Like I'm at a railway station or somewhere else and we cannot record it. And then you didn't respond. Then I didn't text you back because I thought that you like you must be getting tons of emails, right?
Mm.
That's why I
Oh my
thought that
goodness.
maybe you will write someday.
Oh, you achieved that. Like I don't remember actually, and many people, like everyone
Hmm.
says the same thing
Yes, I
that
understand. I
we
understand.
sent email you. Like I asked a few other YouTubers too, and they were saying the same thing. We wrote an email to you a
Hmm.
few months back. And I'm like, oh my God,
Hmm.
how many people are there who have already sent emails to me and I'm not able to just, see or check
Hmm.
all emails. You also mentioned the same thing. Even Shanta ma'am also shared that when I interacted to her, and many people are there.
Yes.
But one day, I got your YouTube channel in my feed, and I started
Hmm.
watching, and I loved the way you invite people in your home itself. I guess, right? And you
No,
conduct
I
those
take them to
podcasts.
different cafes.
Cafes,
Sasta
okay.
podcast. Call it Sasta.
Sasta podcast, yeah. So I watched those videos and I loved the concept, and
Hmm.
that's what I want to do actually. But
Hmm.
it's a bit difficult for me because I don't know how to drive first thing, and I live in a village. So
Hmm.
the major issue is this, like
I
I don't know how
understand.
to drive. So from
Hmm.
here to go to the city and then invite people. Inviting
Hmm.
people is not difficult because in Shri Ganganagar it's kind of a city where people are educated
Hmm.
and like a lot of educational centers are there and people are serious
Hmm.
about it, so I can find people easily. And as you know, if you are a girl and if you
Hmm.
have a great command over the communication skill, you can approach people. That is a different
Of
thing that I
course,
am a
of
little
course.
bit
Hmm.
introvert, so
Hmm.
it's a little challenging for me, but I know I can do that.
Hmm.
But the thing is
Hmm.
that difficult for me to just go from here to there, and every time no, like not the family members are available for me, so I have
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
postponed it, the idea. But in future
You should
definitely
do it. You should do it.
I would definitely. I love doing that. I
Ah.
love talking to people, meeting new people. So I
Hmm.
will
Hmm.
do that because I have been doing it online for so long now. Not so long. It's like
Hmm.
at least 2 years. Still, it's
Hmm.
long, and I want to do now it offline too. So for sure, I'll do
Hmm.
it, and that's good. That I appreciate that you have started already. That you have taken the
Thank you.
initiative.
Thank you. I like the area I come from, there are not many people who are comfortable being on camera. So
Mm,
whatever friends I had, like five or six,
mm.
who could speak a few lines, I have already invited them. Now I'm running out of guests. All I can
Oh.
do is to and talk to people like you. But I have been
Mm,
writing to people who are into reading, like
mm,
people who are running a booktube channel because they are able to talk a lot in comparison to the one who is at beginner level, right? It's
mm.
quite easy to have a conversation with them. So I have been
Yeah.
writing to them, and actually I've got a few replies. And even today, I'm going to talk to somebody from UK, and I
Wow.
think yes, and I'm really grateful that she accepted it. Let's see how it goes. And even yesterday, I
And
was talking to a girl from Bareilly, and she
oh,
runs a booktube, and it was amazing conversation. We talked for 40 minutes without even, I didn't feel bored for even a single moment. Like it was just constantly we were talking,
uh-huh.
and I was so excited that I kept while I was editing the video, I watched that, and I felt like I'm a bit annoying when I get excited while I was watching that video.
Happens with many people. Happens with yeah,
Hmm.
pretty understandable.
Like
Uh-huh.
lately I wasn't getting those kind of you could say guests with whom I could talk easily. Like I had to force
Uh,
myself to ask questions, right? So when
mm,
I was talking to her, I felt so at ease, and like we had so much in common, the books we had read, and we just kept on talking. And then I was watching
mm.
it, and because of being recording it on a Skype or Zoom, it felt like while she was speaking, I was also speaking. While I was speaking, she was trying to say something. So maybe that part is a bit annoying.
That in recording sessions, in online sessions,
Hmm.
it's bit annoying. It happened with me
Hmm.
too many a times. Like I don't speak in between, very rarely, hardly I speak in between, hardly I interrupt people, but a few
Two
guests
years.
I got. So in those videos, people even commented like, "You are not giving chance to ma'am,
Hmm.
or no, you are not giving chance to Rajni to speak anything,
Hmm.
or when she speaks, you are just interrupting her." So I see in my comment box also, like audience also observe these things when somebody is
They do.
interrupting in between. And a few people
Hmm.
I got, like when I am saying something, they are saying yes, yeah, no. Like these are the things in between they are saying. So that can also be a
Hmm.
little disturbing for the listeners. For people who are
Uh,
talking to each other, it can be a little like,
Engaging.
yeah. And for people who are watching the video, it is really annoying.
But I'm one of those person who likes to add something. Like you were talking, I've been adding who. Like it feel like for example, we are talking, so it's real. It's kind of real. But people
Habitual.
who are going to watch it, otherwise it would be like I'm a robot, you are talking, then you are a robot and I'm talking. It doesn't feel that engaging.
We are habitual of using these as, but in
Hmm.
virtual conversations, we can simply express our interest and like we are listening to you attentively by showing our facial gestures. Like you don't need to make the noise. That's what I have learned from this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I said, 2 years. Like I haven't been doing it for long. 3 or 4 months ago, I started, and my first conversation was with Santa ma'am. So she's really nice. Like the way she let other people talk is something
Mm.
I need to learn.
Yes. So, how did you feel when you had your first session, first conversation with somebody in English?
In English. All
Hmm.
right. I don't even remember when was first time. Like, are you talking about on YouTube or in real life?
In real life?
In real life, I remember I had never talked to a person till I was in class 11, like in English.
Mhm.
So the first time it happened was when I was taking a class of literature for class 11, and there the teacher invited me on the stage, and there I had to talk about a poem there, and
Mm.
like my legs were shaking. I was shivering. I was literally shivering that day.
Mm.
But that you can understand if you are speaking publicly, the amount of response you get, or you feel like you have the power over people, right? They are actually listening to you. So it was amazing. And then I thought maybe I need to work on it and I can do better. So that was my first experience, I would say. And
Mhm.
then again, he invited me second day on the stage, and it kept happening. It kept happening. Like every second, third day,
Oh.
he was inviting me. After every chapter or every topic we were discussing, he would invite me, and I would talk on the stage. So that's the exposure I got in class 11th
Amazing.
in
I
my high school.
guess from there you got this motivation and yes, opportunity exposure that made
Hmm.
you to, initiate, start these things. And when you started
Hmm.
doing it virtually and your podcast is the podcast too. So how did
Hmm.
you feel when you were recording your first video?
Uh, you know, I have always been a camera conscious person. Like I could talk in class with all of my friends in my
Mm-hmm.
high school, 11,
Mm-hmm.
12. But
Mm-hmm.
as soon as somebody turned on the camera, I completely froze. I literally begged them, you don't have to record myself.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I would not talk. So it happened till I was even in second year of my graduation. I was still freezing whenever I had to speak something. But I
Mm-hmm.
thought, Roshan, you have to take command over it. It cannot continue because at the end of the day, because of the internet, you cannot stay away from it. Like if you want to build something, like you have built a quite business here, right? You have a good audience. So if we want to do something, we have to come publicly and talk, right?
Yeah,
So I thought,
agree.
let's work on it. Let's
Mm.
work on it. And I kept recording myself in 2023 almost every day. I recorded myself. I never uploaded a single video. Like
Mm.
I would talk about my day, what I'm going to do, what I did, what I was reading. It was kind of journaling videos, but for myself. And
Mm.
sometimes whenever I felt like, I would review those videos. And
Mm.
I was also learning to type because I started taking interest in writing. So I don't actually enjoy writing with pen, so I thought let's try keyboard or some because I really like the sound of keyboard. So I
Oh.
started learning it, and because I was reviewing my videos and learning typing at the same time, the timing was perfect. And then ChatGPT was new at that time. So whatever I was saying, I was writing it and asking it to provide me alternatives for it. So like
Mm.
that was a huge help for me. Like to introduce myself and to say things in a different manner, alternatives, it helped a lot.
Mm.
And then in 2024, like the motivation we get in January, that
Mm-hmm.
we have to do something, right? I was here and I started rambling about books. That's what I did. In my first video, I started talking about books. And then whenever I was reading something, I was watching something, I would come here and talk. But
Mm-hmm.
one day I watched one of your videos, Santa Ma'am videos, like conversational videos I was watching. I was already
Mm-hmm.
watching podcasts like 3 or 4 years ago, but I never had the courage to start something of my own. But after
Mm.
watching your videos and all those creators, I thought maybe I can also try. So
Mm.
the first one I wrote was Santa Ma'am. And she replied me after, I guess a month later. So I had
Okay.
completely forgotten that I had written to her. I had completely forgotten about it. But
Mm.
then my first conversation went fine, and I thought, let's continue it. I started writing to other people, and I did a conversation with my real life friend, Sudha, and it was nice talking to her on a camera. Even she was doing it
Mm.
for the first time. So
Mm.
I asked my other friends, and that's how I have been doing. That's my journey.
Wow, wow, wow. So, what was your background? Was it in English entirely during school, like education
No,
background?
no, no. Like I studied in a Bihar boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
But I was interested in stories. I used to read a lot, like comics
Okay.
or movies I used to watch, and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, of course, YouTube. The media I was consuming, it was in a different language. But whatever medium was in school, it was Hindi. But I never studied in Hindi. I never
Mm-hmm.
studied anything in school. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
I did after school, I've done it because like I was a rebellious kid. I used to play cricket, hang out with my
Mm-hmm.
friends. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Never studied in school.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm, I had the same kind of situation. And one thing I want to know from you, like your command over the grammatical patterns is quite good. So I want to know, did you learn the grammatical
Thank you.
patterns separately or did you learn through reading and listening to podcasts, listening to people? How did you learn it?
Yes, I think because of the exposure, I have learned this language by entertaining myself, movies,
Mm,
books, and I never had to learn grammar much. But when I started teaching in a school, I had to, go through rules, structures properly so that I can provide accurate stuff to my students. And
mm.
it helped because I already knew what I was doing, but knowing the concept made it better.
Yes, when you
And you,
start
I think,
teaching, mhm.
what about you? I think you have a degree in Korean language too.
Yeah, I have done my
Yes, I
graduation
really.
in Korean.
How was it for you, like learning Korean?
It was really fantastic because of the environment I got. I
Hmm.
was there in CUJ, Central University of Jharkhand. So there I got
Hmm.
really, really amazing professors who taught me this language. Really hardworking, laborious, supportive professors, and I'm very, very privileged that I got. And
Hmm.
because of Korean, I am today whatever I am. Because from there,
Hmm.
when I started learning the words in Korean, the meanings were taught
Hmm.
only in English, and from there I
Great.
started learning the English words, and then I started understanding this language. Otherwise I don't think so that I would have done that, I would have achieved this fluency and understanding in this language. So I'm very
Mm-hmm.
grateful. And after that, also, like, I started my graduation from there, but later, because I got great professors, I was very good at Korean. Then I gave the entrance exam. The written examination was also in Korean, and the interview was also in Korean when I gave the examination of JNU. So there also, professors appreciated always for my Korean, not for English. So I, because of Korean, I got admission. I was able to come to Delhi, from Jharkhand to Delhi.
Mm.
Then I completed my graduation from there itself. So there also, as you know, that JNU is a very, very prestigious university. You get the great environment
Mm.
there, professors, and Korean department is totally entirely is. Fantastic different in entire JNU. I feel that, because they are the
Mm.
professors, all the professors have the Korean culture itself in themselves, because many of them have completed their masters or PhDs from Korea itself, South Korea. Everybody has gone there, has experienced something for 1 year, some for 2 years, or have done something there. So they, everybody has, same kind of culture in themselves. They have just
Mm.
grabbed it. They have just so because of that, I was able to cope with those things easily, because I am from my background is like, I have completed my schooling from Navodaya. So in Navodaya, there were a
Mm.
lot of rules and regulations. So that was in my blood too, like to be punctual and to be hardworking, honest, and all that. And when I met all those professors, I loved these things. In other departments, in other area, in other universities, I think things are little lighter. Like, people take it lightly if there is any class, or if there is any test or homework, things like that. But in Korean department, it was very strict, always, always. And that's what I
That
liked very
helped.
much. Helped really. And we got the even native speakers there. Like, a few professors
Mm.
were natives, and their way of teaching, mind blowing. Like, because of those professors, we got really good opportunities, and we got to learn the language in a way that should be, taken seriously, not as a subject, no, as a language. We learned
Mm.
that. But unfortunately, I stopped everything in Korean. Like, I came back to here and I started preparing for banking examinations and all. So in between, like, I stopped everything in Korean, and because of that, I'm not able
Mm.
to speak it properly. And again, I don't have the environment now. But I
Mm.
understand a bit whenever I watch something, whenever I see something. So, like, I we used to watch Korean movies, we used to listen to Korean, like, in classroom itself, with the professors. And we were given the
Mm.
assignments to write about the movies, write about the what you have learned from it, and all those things. So it was great learning Korean. Like, it was really lovely experience of learning this language.
That's great. That's great. I have also, because of language, I know a few languages. Like in my childhood, Arabic. My mom hired a tutor to teach me Arabic and Urdu.
Arabic.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think because of it, I was in love with literature. I always like to read books, story books. And because of my surrounding, I didn't have to put much effort here. And I also
Urdu.
like Korea, like Urdu,
Oh.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like Korean movies, especially Bong Joon-ho. I hope I'm saying the name correctly. I guess you might have heard of the movie Parasite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
So that director is one of my favorite. Like not just from Korea. I love
Mm-hmm.
movies, and that guy, his movies are out of this world. Like see any of his movie,
Mm-hmm.
Parasite, Memories of the Murder. Even there is a movie called Mother. I think I have seen almost every movie of his, and there is
Okay.
different vibe in Korean movies. Like it's completely different. Have you
Mm.
seen Old Boy?
Yes, I have seen. Yeah.
How was it for
Mm.
you?
I don't exactly remember the concept right now, but I have
Hmm.
seen, and I am not into that much in movies and all. I just
Hmm.
watch, educational kind of thing only. Movies I
Oh,
watched only when I was there in JNU, and many professors asked us to watch web series, not web series, K dramas, sorry, K dramas. So that time I watched only, and forcefully. Like I don't even watch, movies and serials in Hindi.
Hmm.
In later when I started watching in English too, because of the learning purpose. So when I was learning Korean only,
Oh,
that time I watched K dramas in just learn the language. Otherwise,
I'm
the
not into,
hmm
yes,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not into K-drama, but like movies,
movies.
they are like their vibe is completely different.
So do you watch
Atmosphere,
in
the kind of camera work. Hmm? Yes,
Korean
I
or
watch
in
in
other?
original language with subtitles. Like whatever
Oh,
I'm watching, I prefer original language, like with the help of subtitles, and I'm quite used to it. Like always, have always worked that way. So I don't have much problem with it. Even
so
if
do
I'm
you?
watching a Tamil movie, I don't
Mhm.
understand anything with the help of subtitle, English subtitle. I don't know
Oh yeah.
anything about Korea or Tamil or any language.
Mm-hmm. I watch only in Hindi or English these days, not any other language. But by the way, I love Urdu. I love listening to some of the stand-up comedians, and Zakir Khan is one of them. Like, who's my favorite one.
Jackie Chan.
Zakir Khan, and the way he pronounce each word, the way he delivers the content, not just comedy, like related to life also. Nowadays you must have seen a lot of
Hmm.
short reels and even podcast. He has been invited to many podcasts, so I love watching to him. And I love the way he speaks Urdu. He uses the Urdu
Yes,
words,
Urdu is
right?
quite. Hmm.
Yeah, that fascinates me a lot. I want to know, out of curiosity, like, by any chance you want to be a polyglot?
Polyglot, what does it mean?
Polyglot who wants to
Language
learn a
learner.
lot of languages, yeah.
No, no, no. I don't want to. Like, my mom forced me to learn Urdu in my childhood. I never wanted to.
Oh.
But Urdu was something I became fascinated as you know, exploring literature. And while I was reading Manto, I didn't complete his book, but I really liked it. And hopefully next year, I'm going to add Hindi, Urdu in my reading routine. Like for the past 2 or 3 years, mostly I have been reading just English. But Hindi is something, while I was reading Godan by Munshi Premchand, it really, like I couldn't put the book down. So I want to add and Urdu too. So hopefully from next year.
Many people have shared with me about Godan, but I haven't read yet any book or novel in Hindi yet. I have everything I started
Hmm,
because of this language. So that is why I
that's
haven't
great.
read. But now I have this habit of reading. Like, I enjoy reading a lot. So maybe I can also start reading in Hindi. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
you should
about
try
it.
Godan.
Hmm.
You should try Godan because even I was like in the beginning, I used to believe because if you are used to reading English, Hindi become quite difficult because if you get any difficulties while reading that English book, you can take help of the internet. But when it comes to Hindi,
Hmm.
there are not much resources, or then you have to put extra effort, right? But with English, it's a different thing.
Mm. Now English has become a little easier, but still people say like English is
Hmm.
difficult. No, English has become way more easier because many people are out there who
Resources
are
are
ready
there.
to help you. Resources are there, platforms are available. Many people have created applications for you. You can take, help from
Hmm.
anywhere. Okay. Do you believe that watching movies can really help you learn or acquire any language?
Definitely, it can. One example is in front of you. I told you whatever
Me
I
too.
have acquired just by entertaining myself. Like,
uh,
but like I would say since my first year of graduation, my shift moved from watching to reading. But before that, even in 2023, if almost every day was a movie day for me. Like every day I was watching movies
hmm.
like with the help of subtitles. And I told you earlier, those movies were in original language. So I watch movies from all over the world. Like it's not just Hollywood and
Wow.
Bollywood. I prefer, like if I'm interested in a particular genre or type of
Mm-hmm.
film, then I go and explore. So I think watching
Mm-hmm.
movies, reading, all of these help you a lot. Just entertain yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
agree. So we are like-minded people. Like, we love learning by,
Hmm,
entertaining, by watching, by just, yeah, not in, like, I have seen people who have the kind of affection towards the language. They find these methods beneficial, like watching, reading, listening to people. But people who have kind of a pressure that they have to crack an interview, they have to, change the
hmm, hmm.
job, they have to just learn in just 3 months, 6 months. then it's a bit difficult and challenging for them because they go
Difficult.
with the books only. They feel like I don't have much
Hmm.
time to just watch and grab. Even if they are watching, also, if they are not understanding anything, they become frustrated. Okay, I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to speak like this. Because when we started
Uh,
watching, we were relaxed. Like, okay, let's learn like this. So
Hmm.
that differs a bit. Okay. And
And it
do
takes
you
time to,
agree?
it
Hmm.
takes time. People are, they think that we can learn a language within 6 months. Of course, you can learn to comprehend it. Like you will be able
Hmm.
to understand whatever people are talking.
Hmm.
But when it comes to speaking, it takes time, right? Even writing is something which I think that it is more difficult than speaking. This is
I
what
can
I believe.
resonate. I can resonate with it. I have started
Hmm.
writing. It's been like 3 months. Thrice a week, I write with a group of people, and it's going great
How is it
because
going?
I write with a group of people. It was difficult to write alone. Then I
Hmm.
got this idea to just, address some people, make a video, and ask them to join you. So then I made the video and people are interested. And
That's cool.
luckily, I got people who are with me. So now a group of people are with me who write thrice a week. We meet thrice a week at 9 p.m. And then we write together.
Hmm.
Like everybody suggests the topic on alternate days and alternatively. And then we just write on these things spontaneously. So this is going
That's
good.
cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
I really
Okay.
like your background and your setup.
Thank
Which
you.
webcam are you using right now?
It's,
Is it your laptop or
yeah, laptop.
so? Do you have any other webcam or is it just the webcam of your laptop?
Yeah, it's my laptops only. I don't have different
It looks
one.
good. I have
Hmm.
been using Lenovo and the quality is it. And that's why I got a new phone. But now there is construction work going at my home and I have to, kind of not decorate it. I have to do some work here. Like yesterday, I got these posters just for time being. I have to get
Hmm.
some things here, and then I'm also planning to make a kind of mini studio here.
Gradually, everything will work. If you are passionate enough, if you have the desire, strong desire in your heart, you will. But only the thing is that main thing is to deliver the content, speak, practice,
Hmm.
all these things. So when you are with the already, you have indulged yourself in the main thing, other things will gradually happen and take place. Like I didn't have this kind of background earlier. Still, I feel like I need to work upon it. It will take
Mm.
time again, but I feel
It
like
is
I
never
should.
perfect.
True, true, true. Okay. One last question I want to ask you. Like, as you mentioned that you loved the voice of the keyboard, right? And this is something
Mm.
which somewhere I'm able to resonate when it comes to talk to people. I love listening to people because I love voice, how people speak.
You love
That's what attracts me the most in the world, the most. So I want to know, like, what attracts you the most towards people? What do you think in people?
what's with the
Hmm.
Uh, I think it is very common. Like, I think this is what almost everyone can resonate with or relate with. If I
Hmm.
share some kind of similar hobby, then I feel
Hmm.
attracted towards them. If we read same kind
Hmm.
of books,
Hmm.
if we listen to same kind of music, or
Hmm.
maybe something which we are passionate about, right? It could be cricket, it could be anything.
Hmm.
Like we share some kind of hobbies, then automatically I feel like I need to talk to this person. And I'm a kind of person who don't really approach one, but if I'm talking to somebody, I like to, make it long, right? Even
Hmm.
whatever I have hardly two to three friends, like close friends.
Hmm.
And there are times when I feel like I don't have to put effort to be with them. Like
Hmm.
even we are not talking, or sometimes they are using their phone, I'm on my phone, but still we are there. So I think
Hmm.
sharing hobbies is one thing that attracts me towards people.
Okay, but I love the voice of
Voices.
people. And I have become too much habitual of listening to some people that whenever I read their books also, it's like their voice is in my ear right now.
Ah,
They are talking to
yeah,
me
it
like this.
happens. It happens.
And that, helps me to keep reading for a longer period of hours. So that's what
Do you
I
listen to
found it.
audiobooks too?
No, not audiobooks. In books, I just love reading hard copies. I keep hard copies. I don't even read online. I don't even listen to audiobooks. I listen to
Mm,
podcast.
that's good.
Yeah. Mm. So that's what I admire the most. And I have, you know, got to know about myself too way more later. earlier I didn't know like this is what I like the most. I didn't know. Like in many areas I was confused. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I love doing. I didn't know what I love reading.
Hmm.
I didn't have these kind of habits. So over time I have explored and I have found myself. So then I got to know like this is what I enjoy the most. Our meeting
I
is
don't
going
want
to
to spoil your
end.
mood.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I want, we will continue in our next session. All right. Then. It was
Mm,
really nice chatting with you, ma'am.
sure, sure. We will connect for sure. We have only just 1 minute. So, any last word or advice that you want to give to my audience?
I would say read and read. Reading is going to
Read.
help you a lot. Yes.
Mm,
Or read something which you are interested in. Don't listen to us. Whatever we are talking about, don't listen to us. If you are interested in cricket, then why are you reading self-help books? Read cricket. Otherwise,
absolutely.
that will become boring. And there are
Mm,
enough books, there are enough content available. So you can try, you can explore things. As ma'am talked earlier, that she didn't know earlier what she wanted to, what she
yeah.
liked. So it takes
Mm.
time. You can try different genres, and eventually you will find something which you are really passionate about. So read. That's what I would
Mm.
say.
The best I think advice, and I have made a lot of videos, separate videos also on it, and even in conversations also I have explained how reading can change you entirely, how reading can make you entirely different person. So reading
It does
has really, I think it's the must habit everyone should acquire.
definitely.
Yeah. So thank you so much for giving your precious time and for coming along, for sharing the
Thank you, ma'am.
insights with us. Yeah, it was lovely talking to you. For now, bye
Same
bye.
here.
We will definitely connect again and have a great day ahead.